So I'm standing here with Mike Meeker. Welcome again to Manitoulin Cooks. I'm your host, Tammy Albers. I'm standing with Mike Meeker, who is Meeker Aquaculture
Management Services.
Bloody blah blah.
Bloody blah blah. Yeah.
Yeah. He's also the creator of
Meeker's
Meeker's Mix.
Yes, the magic mix.
Meeker's Magic.
Don't forget the magic part.
Much about this. Before we get into the tour, please make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
And do it. It's important.
So how long have you been doing Meeker's Magic Mix, and how did that come about?
The magic mix, I would say 12, 14 years.
Angle, like the opposite of me.
12 or 14 years.
Right.
And how did it come about? Yeah, I just said, hey, you know, something's got to be done with that waste so it doesn't go into the landfill. And here we go. This is what we're going to do. So I started. It was funny when I first started mixing it and dumping it into piles. There was so much, like it was anaerobically digesting, and so the methane. And I'd come into the house sometimes after hand mixing it with a shovel, and my eyelashes were burned off.
Oh yeah.
Because they were gone. The methane just burned my eyelashes off, and Sharon would just look at me and go, "Oh man, you've been mixing with the compost again, right?" Yeah. So people have been using
thrifty.
fish.
Yes.
People have been using fish for fertilizer for like 2,000, 3,000 years.
Or longer. Yeah.
But they take the whole fish, shove it in a hole,
Yeah.
and it stinks, and animals come to eat it. So what I've done is make a fish compost that does not smell. Works
And
just as good,
yeah.
but it has no smell, and it's easy to use.
Yep. It's fantastic.
Europeans. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, I don't smell anything. I mean, I'm so used to it, I don't smell a thing. But we just did 20,000 pounds of fish guts and dead fish yesterday that we mixed.
As it composts.
Well, to start the process.
Yes.
So.
And what
anyway,
is this? It?
This is the finished product.
Okay.
Which is what we're selling right now. That and so is that.
Okay, so where's the pile of rotting, decaying stuff?
Oh, you want to see the good stuff,
Not
do you?
really, because I know it'll smell as
well,
bad as it sounds. Oh, this
I don't think so.
This isn't a pond. Good.
No, this is.
I looked at
this
the
is
sign.
Manitoulin.
Yes.
We're
on rock.
This is flat rock.
We're on the rock.
It's a beautiful thing because what I do here is when it rains. Yeah. Okay. So here's an interesting thing about the magic mix. We're going to get to it.
Okay.
Okay. That's the finished product.
Right.
The birds, the raccoons, the skunks.
Oh, of course.
Don't want to go anywhere near it.
No.
There's a pheromone produced.
Yes.
And I've done a little research on it, but not as much as I'd like. But there's no time. There's a pheromone produced that the bugs, the animals, don't like it, and they stay away from it. But it's only the finished product, and it's only fish waste. Compost.
That's all that is.
So but if you have sheep or cattle, like Bella's family, cattle, if you make compost out of that, it doesn't have the same effect.
No.
It's a deterrent for virtually everything.
So there's something in the breaking down of this.
The fish.
That is protective.
Correct. It's a pheromone.
Yeah.
And I've done enough research to know that. And so the seagulls are all around there because we just mixed a whole bunch of dead fish yesterday. And
what did you mix it into?
Sawdust, Manitoulin sawdust.
Wow.
So that's the other thing. There's only two products, or two.
A mixture. Two resources from the island that go into this Meeker's Magic.
Correct.
Manitoulin sawdust.
Yep.
So it's untreated lumber, obviously.
Yes.
And dead fish.
And it's about as pure as you can get. Manitoulin.
No kidding.
Well, there's still some mercury. There's very small traces.
Have that.
You can't get away from it.
No, you can't.
So,
not in this world.
So the beautiful
even our
thing
soil isn't as good as it was 100 years
the sawmill guys had nothing to do. Nothing. You guys picked a heck of a day, didn't you?
Didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, our dating was interesting.
So they were just shoving it in the bush and doing what they had to do. I'm not criticizing.
Oh, of course.
And
I have one question. Are we going to get pooped on?
Oh, probably.
Seagull poop? I love
maybe.
that.
Me too.
This really stinky.
It is not. I can't smell a thing. Can you smell a thing, Bella?
Yes.
Can you smell a thing?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Does anyone, like, does it smell so bad you want to throw up? Or?
No, no.
No, it's not like that. It's
No.
just, it's a
I
pungent.
only feel that way when I feel
See, I don't
close
smell
to
a
you.
thing. Honest to God, I don't. Okay, so I just wanted to bring you down.
Okay.
Because that's the sawdust from Manitoulin.
Wow.
Just in the process of getting more. I get it from Taylor's, and there's a fellow that just called me, Mike Cooper, I think his name
Yes.
is. Yeah, and he's got a bunch of sawdust, so I'm going to start hauling from
Wonderful.
him.
And I'm sure there are other places once they know.
Yeah, so anyway, the sawdust gets mixed with the fish waste
Right.
here.
Which
and
heats
it-
everything up and
Oh,
speeds up.
does it ever heat up?
Speeds up erosion or decomposition.
Well, it's taken me a lot of years to fine-tune the formula, and I
Right.
can't tell you what it is, or I'd have to kill you, to protect me.
I understand.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like Kentucky Fried Chicken when they had their secret recipe. But anyway, so I mix the sawdust with the fish waste,
Right.
and in the proper proportions, and then make sure the pH and the moisture levels are, I've learned over the years.
Right.
And so it takes probably, if I'm pushing the process, I can get a finished product in about 3 to 4 months.
Wow.
And that's really fast.
And does this
by
happen
industry
over the
standards.
winter as well?
Yes, a little slower in the winter.
Of course.
But when this stuff is mixed properly, it heats up so
Oh,
hot
yeah.
you can't touch it.
Yeah, I understand that.
It's 70
Yeah.
degrees or more
Wonderful.
centigrade. And so it's really hot.
So what
So-
do you use to mix? I mean, you would never find a big old mix master that big.
I
KitchenAid.
had a mix master made out of a cement drum, an old waste cement
Wow.
drum, which I modified with a hydraulic system to turn. And I'd put the fish waste in and turn it. And I crawled inside and busted all the old cement out and sharpened up the little helixes inside.
Okay.
And it would cut the fish up, into like a brown mush. Can't describe it any other way.
Looks like
It
poo.
looked like a brown mush.
Okay.
Not really. Well, I guess so.
Close to
Depends on
poo.
what kind of poo you're talking about.
Right.
But let's not get into that.
Well,
Yeah.
we have
So-
whole broken down fish, or we have broken down food poo.
Or we have brown mush.
Right.
Which is,
Yeah.
a technical term, right?
Right.
That's a
Brown
scientific
mush. It's
technical
scientific.
term. I just
like
made it
it.
up. Yeah.
Yes.
So then we add the proper amount of sawdust in, and then mix it all up with my tractor. And the guy that I have looking after this.
Is there like a thing? Like, do you just? I don't understand how you mix this all up.
With the mushy fish.
Okay.
And if you just shovel, if you do it right, which the guy that I have doing it, Blaine,
Okay.
has been doing it for a lot of years. He knows his stuff. He's good, so he
Nice.
mixes it thoroughly. Now we'll mix this product 3 or 4 times and screen it. You can see the screener and the conveyor.
Okay.
So we screen it multiple times during the process and mix it so that
All right.
it's fully mixed, and when it's done, it's that beautiful brown color.
That's stunning.
There's no smell. I
No.
mean, I know that it's hard to tell because you're smelling that, although, like I said, I'm not smelling that.
No,
You
you're
guys are.
immune.
So, that beautiful brown product
That
is
is
what
stunning.
we're selling. And it's very high in nitrogen, very high in phosphorus, has no smell, fish smell.
So do
and it
people
smells
come
like earth. You
directly
can-
to you and buy?
Yeah, that's what primarily I'm doing now.
But you have a lot
But
of
I have-
retailers you distribute to as
Well,
well.
we'll walk back this way.
Sure.
So I've been selling it to some really big commercial growing operations in
Right.
southern Ontario. And one of them is Green Belt Greenhouses, I think they're called.
Yes.
They're one of the biggest microgreen growers in Canada.
Yes.
And they love it. They absolutely love it. And I've sold it to a couple of cannabis places,
Yeah?
some of the bigger ones.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
And the cannabis guys say, we love it, works fantastic. You can't sell it to anybody else because we want it all. And I say, sorry boys, doesn't work that way with me.
No.
I've got a whole bunch of loyal customers who've
Yeah.
used it over the years from the north, Manitoulin in the north. I said, they get theirs first and you get what's left.
Right.
And, they don't really like that, but
What are you going to do?
So
my
how
choice,
much
it's
do
my
you
stuff.
sell it for? If I were to come to your door and say I want some Meeker's mix, magic mix, what would I be paying for a
okay,
bag?
so before we get to that,
That's the distributor bag for the big companies.
Yes.
Okay.
And a lot of people buy those bags because they
I'm
find them convenient, even for their backyard gardens or whatever. Oh yeah, because you can take out what you want and leave the rest in. It's kind of convenient.
And it lasts forever.
Well,
It breaks down, keeps breaking down.
no.
No?
That's one of the interesting things.
It stops
You do
when
ask good questions.
Thank you, because
Yeah.
I studied food
Have you
science.
guys helped her, prepare for this? So
No.
We just show
Oh,
up with the
Well, I
equipment.
studied food science, so I love
Okay,
all of
so
this.
I've done research with the University of Guelph. If we have that stuff, if I sell that, say, to somebody in the fall, and they top dress their whatever they're going to do with it, and they leave it in the bag all winter, in the spring, all of the nutrient levels are the same. The N, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, NPK, and the micronutrients are all.
So that's why magic is in the title.
I was embarrassed about that name.
Well, I think it's brilliant.
Somebody else wanted to call it Manitoulin Fish and Chips, which I thought was kind of a cool name. And I liked that
I
name,
do
but I
too.
lost. Meeker's Magic Mix won, and I can't remember how or why because I didn't really.
Well, it makes sense
for
when you
that.
look at the whole scientific breakdown that it does a stop.
Well,
And then you're not losing the levels. Like I got mushroom compost.
this is the
It's
mushroom.
shit.
The mushroom growers love this. You know why?
Ah,
Because as you know in your research, mushrooms lose out in competition to everything. They don't grow well with any kind of competition. So the guys that are using the chicken or the beef or the sheep
mushrooms are
have
not doing as
to
well.
have to steam it to kill everything.
Yeah.
So there's nothing in
So
there
that
that will
fungi
compete.
can grow
But
properly.
my stuff doesn't have any of that competing. That's another thing about the Magic Mix is it doesn't have the competing seeds and stuff. So
Right.
people use that other compost, they put it in their garden, and they got a whole bunch of crap growing that they didn't.
Well, yeah, because fish don't graze.
Right.
And they don't, eat straw or
Well,
hay.
I know it's funny, but they
Right.
do graze in a way, but they don't.
It's not the same.
It's not seeds and stuff
No,
that can
no.
grow in your garden.
Yeah.
So you don't have competing stuff.
Right.
So we've already got to 3 or 4 of the real advantages to this stuff.
Very nice.
But there's lots more.
I love this.
For example, this is Manitoulin,
Yes.
and when it rains, you get some water
Runoff.
leaching down.
Yeah.
But the runoff you can see down in the corner.
Yes.
Because this is flat rock and I've sealed any places that leak,
Mm-hmm.
the runoff all goes naturally down in that direction.
Excellent.
And we gather it and pump it into a holding lagoon, and I sell the liquid compost tea, which is fantastic
And you
stuff too.
spray that on everything.
You can spray that on everything.
Wow.
Yeah, like the mines was using it, still are. They spray it for regreening. Like they can put it in that giant sprayer Valet's got, and
Yeah.
they spray up on the slopes. You've
Yeah,
seen that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
it's like-
most of that regreening, especially close to town, is this stuff. You know, and they used
Wow.
to use the chemical sort of paint you've probably seen.
Yes.
Looks like green paint.
Yes, until
Well,
it starts
it
to
works.
grow. Yeah.
But then it's the first rainfall, it's gone because there's no substance to it.
Yeah.
But but now here's the other thing. So 2 purposes of that. One is to capture it so it doesn't go into the groundwater.
Right.
Which I thought of, was important right from the start. The second thing is the stuff is fantastic for growing things.
No kidding.
People that have used it just love it, and I've got to get more people to use it because I've
So
got
does-
lots of it.
Does
and-
Farmer Ted use it?
oh yeah,
He works with you before you.
oh yeah, he works for me and he works with me, and
He's a great guy.
excellent,
Yeah.
excellent guy, and he's been pounding horticultural stuff into this thick skull for I don't know how
He's
many years,
so
or trying.
Really, I mean, there are some farmers who just grow stuff,
Yeah,
but Ted knows the science and what's behind
we
everything.
have some great conversations.
And his compassion for the community is really a big seller for me. I would rather, wanting to keep the prices low for shut-ins who are on limited income, and
I've got other people that know far more about plants and growing plants and horticulture than I do.
right.
And they love it and won't use anything else but
Wow.
and that's the most important, because it happens so often. Sometimes I say to myself, what the hell am I doing this for? Like there's a lot of expenses, there's a lot of problems, and then I'll have it seems to work all the time. I'll have 3 or 4 people come in and say, this is the greatest stuff I've ever used. Don't you ever stop making this stuff.
Right.
And I'll think, oh, okay, that makes me feel better. Now I'll go back and,
Excellent.
but I'm not kidding.
No, I understand.
And it was very funny at the very beginning when I started making it. I was giving it away to people, and it was mostly ladies, and it was mostly older ladies. So I had this endless car after car after car coming down the laneway, and it was all women, and they were all coming to see me.
Mike's Hera.
Yeah, well, that's the funny thing, because
Everybody was teasing you about it.
Well, they were, and then Sharon, would just say, it's got nothing to do with him. They just want the compost. It's good compost. I mean, it's got nothing to do with him. The compost cuter than Mike. Far more. There was no doubt about it. But one of the things was the ladies started using it in their gardens. And first of all, they said it worked great. But second of all, they started noticing things like the cats weren't crapping in their garden anymore. So when they were kneeling down they weren't kneeling in cat
poo. I'm planting my first vegetable garden this spring, since a successful vegetable garden since I left Fredericton. I had a backyard garden for years.
You were an East Coast girl?
Totally.
Oh yeah.
Born and raised. This is like home without
good stuff.
This is like home with the Manitoulin's, like home without the annoying relatives.
I believe it. Yeah. I spent a lot of time in Newfoundland.
But I had very unsuccessful vegetable garden on Manitoulin.
Well, you didn't have this.
Exactly.
Yeah. You put that on your garden, and I swear, I tell people all the time, I'm not a snake oil salesman.
No.
If I don't like something, I won't say that I do. But this stuff
is
just
magic.
Absolutely works on anything. I've got customers now that every year I learn of something new that they're using it on that it works. Like I had last year, a couple came and they said they've been having trouble growing lavender. And they used this, and it worked fantastic. And so now,
lavender is one of the best deer repellents too from your vegetable garden.
I mean, they're growing lavender. Nothing worked before. Now this does. There's other things too. There's special berries that people are growing. That asthma berries or something.
Haskap.
That's it. Yeah.
Ground
that's what I said, right?
cherry. Yes. Yeah. Ground cherries love it. Okay. Ground cherries just multiply like crazy with this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ground cherries. I didn't know that.
Oh.
See, I'm learning all kinds of stuff and the new things that people use it on, and it's great because
do you know anyone using it on their house plants as well? Just to boost
everybody.
Them? Holy moly!
Yeah,
holy moly! I just said holy moly.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
You truly did. Yeah.
Oh, Mike, this is awesome. Thank you.
So, well, I mean, are we away from the smell? Are you guys?
We've gotten used to it.
We don't smell
yeah, you see, it doesn't take long, does it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Mike Meeker.
All
Welcome
right. You guys can get in
for
and warm
coming
up.
to Manitoulin Cooks and for showing us all the magical things you do.
It's been very much fun.
We'll be back again to see when the cages are up so we can look at all the pretty fish.
I'm hoping that that's true, but like I said, women say that to me all the time, and then guess what?
They never
show up again.
I'll show up.
So you guys...
We'll show up.
Will you bring her?
Yes.
Okay.
We'll be here.